Caitlin is obviously one of the faces of the league. Do other girls in the league respect that, or do they kind of try to get at her?
Yeah, no, I think that narrative that they put out was so weird. It was so annoying. There's money to be made. There's an appetite for women's basketball. And the league just kept telling us, you guys are asking for too much. You're asking for too much.
I want to start this interview out actually by just kind of in my own way apologizing for the way that I have come off. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Curious Mike. I'm here with a very special guest, Lexie Brown.
Hey.
We met the other night, and I didn't realize you were who you were. She was the girl that was talking stuff on me, but it's all good. I want to start this interview out actually by just kind of in my own way apologizing for the way that I have come off, not only to you, but I feel like rubbed even other NBA players the wrong way. I have my opinions, and when people ask me questions, I do speak my mind, but I'm not always mindful of like how that can come off. And I feel like for you guys, when you saw my comments or whatever, like, I don't know, I feel like y'all might have took it the wrong way. And in real life, I'm overly supportive of women. Like, my mom was one of the best basketball players that when people ask like who in your family like really started the basketball thing, it was my mom. My sisters played, so I'm overly like with y'all and what y'all do. So I just wanted to start this off by saying that.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, we hashed this out the other night. It was funny. We were like sitting near each other and we were just talking, and our friends, we were all talking, and he's like, wait a minute, I know you. And I was like, for what?
Because I remember seeing that clip and it was you reacting.
But they did you a little dirty. Because I did watch the whole conversation.
The pivot guys?
Yeah, that's what social media is. That's what clickbait is. And they clipped that specific comment you made about the ping pong, whatever. But like if you listen to the whole statement that you made and the way they framed the question, also there were opportunities for them to be like, okay, that's enough.
Chill
but
out.
They kind of just were like, let's just let you do your thing. But like, I don't think we weren't offended. And then obviously when we talked about it on Gills, like I knew they were going to ask me about it. They do the same thing. They like lob me questions for me to potentially be problematic or, because that's what they like to do. They like to like poke people and poke the bear. I'm not that type of person. But when you see the clip, you're like, okay, I'm going to ride for my girls. I'm going to ride for my W players. But I do understand like the respect you do have for us as players and things like that. And then the point I made about, you eating off a player that plays below the rim and isn't really athletic, and like it wasn't a shot to you. And I told you that the other night. Like I think you're an amazing player.
Yeah.
And I think that, you've dealt with your hardships, your injuries and stuff. But for the comment of like, oh, they're not athletic, they're not exciting, and I'm like, you literally play with Jokic. Like I wouldn't say he's not exciting, but
he's a below the rim player. Like he's
very fundamental.
It's not about athleticism with him. So I watched back, my interview with those guys, and I watched back kind of your response. We'll play it for the people right now, and they can watch it for themselves. But what specific comments, when you watched that clip of me, what were the specific comments that rubbed you the wrong way?
I think it was just like, it was just interesting that when people talk about the W, specifically men and other athletes, the legitimacy of our league and who we are as players, it varies based on how much money we make. So the conversation was kind of framed of like, oh, the women, they want more money. Like, what's up with that? Like, why do they want more money? And then, the conversation shifts to, oh, they're not exciting enough. They don't dunk, lower the rims, blah, 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 blah. And when was that? Last year? Now you fast forward a year later, people are signing $1 million contracts for the first time.
Yeah.
So, we get back to the point of like, okay, so what's really like, where's the root of these opinions that people have of the women's game? Like, is it boring, or y'all like just mad that women are professional basketball players and you're not. You're at home. Like, is that really the problem? Because now that money statement, the money comment, they don't make enough money. That's out the window now.
Yeah, y'all get into that bread now for sure.
Like, I've seen all day, all week, $1 million contract here, $1 million contract there, 2 years, $2.5 million. Like, I never thought that I would even be in the league to see that happen.
Now, congrats on that for sure.
Thank you.
Definitely congrats on that. In terms of my comments in that conversation, I think one of the things that I had mentioned was to make the game more exciting, which I agree with you. Like, I've watched phenomenal women's basketball. When I was watching my sisters play in college, like, that team was more exciting to watch than the men's Mizzou team at the time. You know, they had Sophie, Cunningham, my sisters, some other pretty exciting players, and they were playing really good basketball. My aunt was the head coach, and I was locked in. Like, I was following them, pulled up to all their home games, and it was really good basketball. Same thing in the WNBA. But one of the comments I made was, like, to get the viewership up, maybe lower the rims. And I think that comment rubbed not only you, but probably some other WNBA players the wrong way. But my question to you would be, like, what about that comment makes it offensive? Because the ball is smaller. The three-point line is a little bit shorter than the NBA three-point line. So why is lowering the rim a little bit lower than the NBA rim? Why is that one thing so offensive? If the ball is shorter, the three-point line is a little shorter. Like, what about that is so crazy to you?
Like, me personally, like, that will not benefit me at all.
Because you shoot.
I shoot, but, like, I'm not, like, a super athletic girl. Like,
got you.
But so many of us, even with the rim lower, like, you're still not going to get
You're still not going down and punching
people dunking on people. And now my teammate, Dom, is dunking, and it's still not enough. Like, she's literally dunking at a 10-foot rim in games. She did it overseas. She did it Unrivaled, and people are still like, oh, that dunk wasn't good enough. Like, so you lower the rims, and then maybe people start dunking, and they'll be like, well, it's still a 9-foot rim. Like, it's still not good enough.
Got you.
But I'm like, as a shooter, like, can you imagine having to adjust your whole everything
you've
learned your whole life?
You would have to change your
You have to
your
change
game
everything.
For sure.
So it maybe would benefit 5 or 6 players.
It benefit
maybe.
the Brittany Grinders of the W.
But again, it's like our game is so different. Like, you do not, even though the women that can dunk, like, you're not punching on people. Like, that's not the way we were taught how to play. That's not how the game, our spacing isn't built for that. Like, would I love to see Dom dunk on someone this season? For sure. And maybe if she does it, maybe more players are going to start doing it if they're capable. But, yeah, the whole lower the rims, I'm like...
Yeah, you wasn't feeling that at all.
No, because I'm like, for me, I'll never. My dad is a slam dunk champion. Okay. I ain't get an ounce of that athleticism. So I'm like, I've never been taught to play that way. But that argument is tired.
I feel you. The other thing that was interesting to me is... I think the first thing you mentioned was he keeps referring to us as females instead of women. That
was petty.
But where I'm from, like I'm in my mind, I'm thinking female is the most respectful way to talk about women. I'm thinking female is like overly. So explain to us, men, and just the viewers in general. Like, why do y'all prefer to be called women over females?
I think it's like the context of the way you're saying it. So the whole conversation was very, like, kind of talking down on us. And in the experiences that I've had where men call women females, it's, like, very derogatory, you know? So maybe you weren't, like, obviously you just explained how you feel about the word female, but in the experiences that probably a lot of us have had when men are like, these females, these this, it's, like, very... derogatory and like just talking down on us. But that was a petty thing on my part. I'll own up to that. I think people they just be trying to bother you, and I'm gonna own up to. I told you, we were literally yapping the other night, and I was like, Michael, you actually are cool as fuck. Yeah. I'm so sorry that I was like judging you so crazy. Like, that's not okay. So I'm gonna apologize to you as well.
I appreciate that. I said the same thing. You when I seen the clip, I'm like, yo, I wonder if I'm ever gonna run into her in person and. She's just gonna talk crazy to me, but like you said, like it was.
Your
cool.
fans, by the way, are insane.
In what way?
Like, I would get random comments on various.
They would turn up on you. They were riding with me.
What?
Really? Hey man, shout out to y'all, curious
crew. They'd be like,
at
least MPJ can dunk. At least he can dunk. Just, I have like a post like at the beach.
I think it's because you had said like.
Oh, you don't dunk
all he does is shoot threes. He don't dunk. But, like, my OG fans know, like, that was my thing. Like, growing up, like, I didn't rely on shooting. Like, in high school, before my injuries, like, I'm trying to get downhill, dunk on you. Like, I had to, like, change my game crazy after some of the surgeries. And I'll still dunk the ball, but obviously, like,
but
tough shot making and shooting
lean on your
thing.
Fundamentals.
Yeah.
Not,
so I'm gonna choose to take that as a compliment. Then
it is. I told you the other night. Like, I'm a big fan of your game.
I appreciate that.
Even since college, but like you can shoot the shit out the ball.
Appreciate that
for sure.
What do you wish that most like NBA players and fans in general like understood about the NBA? Like, what's something that they miss in terms of just the product, the work y'all put into it, everything? Like, what's something you wish that we understood?
I mean, I think overall, like, NBA guys, they respect what we do and the way we play because they understand that we work as hard, we put the same hours in, we've, spent our whole lives trying to get to this level. So I think there is a mutual respect amongst NBA players and WNBA players. It's like the casual fans, like, again, I said, they put the money, the dollar amount next to the occupation, and it's less respected. But I think that the comparison is the thief of joy, as people say.
Yeah.
Comparing our league to the NBA, like, there are players in certain aspects of our game that can be comparable to the NBA, but overall, like, we play very different games. Mm-hmm. So I just wish more fans and even casual fans could just appreciate the way we play as women and appreciate the way y'all play. I mean, because I see people complain about the NBA. People complain about everything, but like,
people are always
talks about.
in this day and age, people are always looking for the negative. Like Bam Adebayo scored 83. The majority of the comments are people talking like negative
crazy.
About it. It's so. I mean, like, social media is such a toxic, and even like the mindset of just humans in general now. I don't know why everybody's so pessimistic. Like, always looking at the negative and the holes they can poke in anything. It's
crazy.
So weird.
It's outrageous.
You know what I mean?
And it only exists online. So the best thing I did, I deleted X, Twitter. It doesn't even exist on my phone.
Really?
And for me, people were so mean to me on there. And as an adult, I'm 31. As a grown-ass woman getting offended by strangers on the internet, I started to feel like, okay, you're doing this to yourself. Like, you can literally delete the app. Like, you might miss out on some jokes. You might be out the loop a little bit. But you're mental. I had to value that. So I literally just deleted it. I haven't returned yet, but like sometimes people be like, yo, they talk about you on there again. I no longer give a fuck.
Yeah.
But like, just the way people just hide behind screens and just are just agents of chaos. Like, sometimes people will like put things out that they probably don't even believe.
Yeah.
They just want people to like be mad or to like just start some shit.
Literally, or get some likes in the comment section. It's strange. Now, I deleted Instagram. I go on and off. Like, I'm very self-aware of when kind of that world is kind of dragging me down, kind of, and then when I can get back on it, I'll get back on it for a little bit. But it's everywhere, and I think also, I don't know if y'all deal with it as much as us, but also the sports betting piece.
It's starting
with y'all. Like,
but I've closed my DMs and stuff down, so people can't even like message me crazy things. And I haven't really been playing. Like, the last 3 seasons, I have like barely played.
Gotcha.
I got sick 2 years ago. It was dealing with that, and then last year I got traded and didn't play. So I really haven't felt the heat from this new fandom, which I'm kind of grateful for because it's been crazy.
Well, you about to, because you about to get back into this year. Nah, I think that as negative as social media was before, like when they introduced, because these are people's livelihoods at this point, and they're putting their life in these athletes' hands to perform well. And the crazy bad part about it is, it don't matter if you play good or bad because there's people betting on your over or under. So I'll go get 30. Somebody's in my DMs talking crazy. Oh, tonight you want to go play well. Like,
it's crazy.
I'm talking about 75% of my DMs is. So I wondered if that was a thing in y'all's league or if that was a topic of conversation.
Oh, for sure. I've had friends that like will post some DMs that they get from people that maybe bet on them or something, or like the comments that people get, and I just think it's crazy. But again, it's just that like internet shit, and you have to kind of tune it out, and it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
And I think people think that because y'all make so much money and y'all are literally playing basketball that you guys don't see anything, y'all can tune it out. And I kind of thought that too until I started watching Starting Five.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was the first season. And, like, all the players were, like, very much in tune to what was going on, like, on the internet. And I was like, oh, they see everything. They 100%. Do see things. And I'm sure their friends bring, you know, bullshit to them. You know, kind of how you saw the clip of me talking about your clip or whatever. Like,
what clip? What clip are you talking about in that? When I said something about the sports betting, you responded to that one too?
I can't. No.
Oh.
Oh, wait. How many? Because, like, do I just be like, do people just bring Michael Porter clips to me and be like, Lexie, say something?
I don't know. I feel like for a minute there, like, that's
we
why.
was on your ass. They be on your ass.
I'm talking about, I felt like the whole WNBA, and I'm like.
We were on your ass for sure.
I'm like OD cool with Sophie.
What was the last WNBA game you went to?
The last WNBA. Well, I was supposed to go this past year. Obviously, we got a good team over there in Brooklyn, but I didn't make it. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm locked in though.
You gotta support the Liberty.
I know, and they're good. They're pretty good too. But
they holding it down in Barclays.
And like the other thing that I will say is, I remember in high school, I was a senior in high school in Seattle, and Brandon Roy was my coach, and this is when Kelsey Plum was at UW, mm-hmm. And she used to pull up, like we would go shoot together, work out together. She pulled up to our open gym at Nathan Hale, our high school, and I'm talking about she was getting busy, like she was going crazy. She's one of the first women that I saw like really that could like
wiggle.
I'm talking about wiggle. Like she was in there getting like real buckets, and I was like, oh. But now even like when all the comments came out, I think even Kelsey was hot. I think she unfollowed me on the gram.
Damn.
I think
I
had to hit up Sophie. I'm like, yo, Soph, is how I'm coming off like that crazy? I talked to my sisters about it. My mom, I'm like, Mom, like I don't know why they think that I'm like against them or I'm demeaning them or I'm on some.
What made you use ping pong as an example?
I could have used a professional.
I mean, because ping pong players, like, they're Olympic athletes. Did you see Marty Supreme? Like, that shit is serious. No.
My point was this: like, there's so many sports and so many occupations of life where people are equally as talented as us NBA players, or even like boxers who get paid a lot of money, or these very high-paying jobs. There's so many occupations where people are just as talented.
Right, but they don't get
It's unfortunate that the world doesn't view that talent and put it on the same pedestal as they do other people's talent, so they don't get compensated the same. So my point was like, y'all are equally as talented, probably put in just as much work, take care of your bodies just like us, and the world viewership and the way they view it is the reason that we get paid so much money, even though y'all are equally deserving and equally as talented. So I was saying, like, ping pong players, like, I brought them up because I love ping pong. And, like, when I'm watching ping pong players, like, really go at it, I'm like, yo, they're crazy skilled. Like, it's crazy that they can just spike the ball and the other person spike it back. And, like, you saw Marty Supreme. Like, it's crazy. Like, good ping pong is crazy. So I'm like, unfortunately, the world doesn't put the same value on every sport. I think it just came off like I'm comparing y'all to which...
Well, even his response to you saying ping pong, he was kind of like, I don't know. Like, I just... And I have no beef. I think the pivot is amazing. I just think they kept putting you in like funny spots with their questions.
Yeah, and that was at a time. That was at a time in my life where, like, when I was getting on the interviews, like, it was more like I'm saying my opinion on stuff, and I don't care how anybody else feels, because at that time, like, I was just looking at like, man, like, everybody should be able to have an opinion. Everybody should be able to say what they want to say. Freedom of speech should still be a thing, and nobody should be overly offended. But now I realize that, like, you can have your opinions and you can articulate them well, but is it really worth other people getting, like, hurt or offended by what you said? Like, is it really worth it? Do you need to voice everything? And, like, I'll always, if I'm asked a straight up question, I'm probably going to say what I think, but there's a way to articulate it to where, like, other people won't get frustrated. Like, there was a stream I did with Black Boy, and I was asked the infamous question, would you rather have a gay son or a thought daughter? And I answered it. And I answered it how I felt like my opinion was, but then, like, that community and a lot of people DM me and were talking about how hurt and offended they were. And it just kind of made me realize, like, is saying my opinion on a subject, like, worth worth it. Like, I feel like love, because there's already so much.
It's okay to be like, I don't have an opinion on this.
Well, yeah.
And more people need to utilize that, like, across the board.
The
like,
reason that I don't, Lexie, is because I feel like the reason I'm more opinionated and I share my opinions is because I believe that the freedom of speech and the ability to go against the social norm, or like everybody be able to have an opinion even if it's differing and to still respect each other, I feel like that's like a lost art.
For sure.
So I think more people, even on this podcast, like, I want to get people on here that differ than me and still have an opinion that differs than mine or whatever, and it can still be respectful. Because now I feel like if your opinion differs than another person's opinion, it's like war and people hate each other because of a difference of opinion. Yeah. So in my mind, I'm thinking like people should be able to say what they want to say and have difference of opinion and not hate each other, just respect, like, this person grew up different than me, they think different than me, whatever. Because now, like, I just feel like the world and social media is so crazy. If you go against...
Everyone is so combative. And I agree with you on that point. And I feel like conversations don't happen enough in real life anymore. Like, you put yourself in a vacuum. Like, your algorithm shows you things that you're interested in. It shows you people that think similarly to you. Like, I always love asking my friends for their phones so I could look through their algorithms. I'm like, what you seeing on your stuff? And it's so different than mine. Like, even I was just doing a photo shoot earlier, and one of our producers was like, oh, have you seen this trend on TikTok? And I had no idea what she was talking about, because our algorithms are so different. But I feel like we all just live, and everybody is so chronically online, and it's just the reality of life. But like conversations like this with you and I, like, that's so important. And people like don't know how to have conversations anymore, and it's very frustrating. And for someone like you who is opinionated, and you do have that belief of like, we can agree to disagree but still respect each other, but people be just attacking you, me included. And like the fact that you like straight up asked me about it in real life, like, I was like, damn. No. All right, you want to have this conversation right now with all this music and all of our friends around? Cool, let's have it. But it ended up being a cool moment.
Because like the way that I approach podcasts and conversations like this, like, I would, anything I say or ask or whatever, it's the same things that I would want to talk about and ask in real life. Yeah. And I think sometimes it gets me in trouble, but some people appreciate it. I just don't want to, like, my goal is to never like offend people or unnecessarily hurt people. So that's that. I want to talk a little bit about what happened, I think last year, the year before, with the NBA commissioner. I know there was a lot of smoke. Even Nafisa, I grew up with Nafisa as well, working out with Nafisa, and she had a lot to say in the interview. I wasn't fully in the loop in what was going on. Can you tell the people kind of what was going on and why people were just on the commission, and what's the consensus around that now?
Yeah, so we opted out of our CBA, and we opted out last year. So we got to an agreement. So we signed the new CBA, our season's happening, whatever, but it was an 18-month process. So we opted out, and the official deadline was like January. So we didn't get it signed till like 2 weeks ago. So our problem with this new round of negotiations is there was just this explosive growth, like unprecedented growth in the WNBA between, NIL stuff, the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese stuff. Like, so many things happened in women's sports in like this small moment. It like just took off like crazy. Like, no one was prepared for it. Like, no one was expecting it. So on the heels of all of that excitement from college, they get drafted. They bring the same excitement. They bring all these new eyes. They bring all these new fans. And the league just goes crazy. So we opt out of our CBA. And, you guys, in y'all's rev share, y'all split 50-50. And our last CBA, we were getting like 9% of rev share.
Compared to the owners? Compared to ownership?
Yes. So we were at like 9%. And every year it was going down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we were like, do you see what's going on with the league right now? Like, people are really like messing with the WNBA. Finally, it took 20 plus years, but we here now, right? So we opt out, and we started at 40%. We want 40% rev share. I think we ended up on 20%, which is still way too low, but it's such a big jump from 9.
Yeah.
So this whole time we're in these negotiations, we're in meetings. I'm not on the executive committee, but they have meetings with us weekly for the player reps. Like, everybody was, in there saying their piece. And the league just kept telling, like, you guys are asking for too much. You guys are asking for too much, over and over and over. You have off-season leagues now, like Unrivaled. You have another off-season league that I play in called Athletes Unlimited, being able to provide opportunities for us to play in the States and I made more money in Athletes Unlimited this past year than I made in the WNBA last year. And a lot of players made more money on Unrivaled than they made in the WNBA.
Right.
So it's there. There's money to be made. There's an appetite for women's basketball. And the league just kept telling us, you guys are asking for too much. You're asking for too much. And for the first time, the players had so much more leverage than ever before. I was in the league for our last CBA right before COVID hit. And we got a lot of wins in that CBA, but we had no leverage. Like, we were still having to go overseas. We were still having to, take other jobs in the off season to supplement the low WNBA salaries. But this time around, especially the rookies now, all the money that they were making in college, they were like, we good, we'll lock out with y'all. We don't care. Like, we straight. We made all this money in college. Like, we want this league to be better for the future. So for the first time, we kind of were just like, all right, like, y'all think we're asking for too much? Cool.
Yeah, I was curious about that because I'm like even my little sister, she's getting paid to go to school, like a good amount of money for a year, and like I know you said that you guys made more money in some of these other leagues and some of these other things than the WNBA. So to me, it's like, if the WNBA wasn't trying to come off that bread, like, something eventually would overtake the NBA when it comes to women's basketball, right? Yeah. That's leverage enough. Like, if they want the WNBA to exist, if they want the best players in that league instead of going here or here, then they gotta get with the times.
And it was like crazy being like getting the information, to us, like, from their meetings with the ownership and then telling the player reps. And there was like a very disproportionate level of respect. I feel like all of us as W players know that WNBA has the biggest platform. We get to fly charter now. Like, we're on all the TV, like the big TV networks now. The media deal is crazy. Like, we always made sure that the owners and the league understood that we love the WNBA and we love being a part of it. We just want it to be better. Yeah. And then for them, like, we just felt like they just kept smacking us in the face. Like, y'all are just asking for too much. Like, we just need y'all to show up and play and just be happy with the little money that we're giving you. I made like $40K my rookie year.
Yeah, it's not even enough to really live in some of these big. You played in LA?
I was drafted to Connecticut, so it was cool there. But yeah, like, you think about,
you can't live off of 40.
You can't live off of 40K. So I took my ass overseas immediately. So I played overseas for 3 straight years. And, at the time, like, we weren't making any money in college. So the little 40K was kind of still like, wow, like, I have money now. Yeah. I figured it out, made it work, made more money overseas. But that's kind of like just what everybody was used to. And then, COVID happened. Social media kind of was more acceptable for athletes. We got bigger platforms. We were able to, like, speak our minds a little bit more. And I just feel like athletes just kind of took off post-COVID.
Yeah.
And all of that, it was like the perfect storm to set up this, launching pad for the WNBA and other women's sports. And we stood on business. Like, we didn't want to lock out. We didn't want to strike, but we were all completely prepared to. Yeah. And I think the league, they waited till the last possible moment, which was irritating, but they felt us. And it's like a really amazing, iconic, powerful thing that we were able to do as a league.
No, it's amazing. Y'all deserve it. Like I said, y'all put the time in. Y'all are experts at your craft, and it is good basketball to watch. Like, I do tune in. I haven't been to a game in a minute, but I watch on TV all the time, and it's.
So now you gotta go to at least.
I'll pull up to a game. You gotta go to
at least 3 Liberty games.
Yeah, I'll pull up to a Liberty game. I'll pull up to one of your games. Hopefully, they let you rock out this year, so I'll be there. What was it like with Caitlin and Angel kind of coming into the league? Like, I feel like, I would say, I want to hear your perspective, but it seems from the outside like Caitlin is obviously one of the faces of the league. Do other girls in the league, like, do they respect that, or do they kind of try to get at her, or how do they view that situation? Because is there jealousy, or what is it?
Yeah, no, I think that narrative that they put out was so weird. It was so annoying. Like, the things that she was going through, it seemed magnified because of who she was and the caliber of player that she was and all the eyeballs that she was bringing to the women's game. So I just feel like everything just looked way worse. But, like, I remember when I was a rookie, they was fucking me up in practice.
Okay,
they was like, I wasn't even playing. Like, the fact that she was able to just play and, you know, figure out the game and have her mistakes and just grow within a season, that's, for me, as someone that, you know, I was number 9 draft pick, and I didn't play at all my rookie year. So from that perspective, from that lens, I was just like, wow, rookie, like, they really just gave the rookie the keys to the team. And, like, you rarely see that in the W. So from that perspective, I thought that was amazing. But I think just the narratives and the conversations that were surrounding the league, their rookie year was very toxic and annoying and weird. And yes, there were moments of probably excessiveness. I'm not going to say that there wasn't. But again, it was just all super magnified. But I've never been the person to take away the impact and the eyes and how much of a difference that rookie class made to the W. Like, they were game changing, and I don't have an ego to be like, you know, they're all right. No, they like changed the landscape of the WNBA.
Yeah,
that entire draft class. So
now that players are, I don't know, like, the difference between a max contract versus a mid level or a minimum, but now that you guys are making some money, some real money, do you think, like, how you think that'll change how y'all move and things like that?
That's what I'm waiting to see. You know, it's summertime in a lot of these cities. You know, there's things that can happen. Like, me personally, my lifestyle's not going to change. I've been able to, like, create a beautiful life for myself. I told my parents, I said, I'm saving this entire check this summer. Mm-hmm. Like, I've never made this much money before in my life. I'm saving all of it. But I am interested to see, you know, what happens.
Pulling up in Lambos and pulling up in Bentley trucks.
Going to throwing money in clubs. You know,
that's gonna be funny to see.
Everyone's out. Tunnel Fit's gonna be crazy this summer. But I feel like this group is, you know, we're educated women, we're respectable women. Like, I don't think people are gonna, like, start wilding out. But the fact that people are having $1 million contracts, like, that's life-changing. Yeah. And we've never been able to really make life-changing generational wealth types of money before. And I think I still am, like, struggling to, like, wrap my mind around that.
It's
like,
crazy.
How crazy that is. It's that people crazy. Are signing $1 million deals.
I think it's also equally as cool that, like, you know, it's a very small league, and you guys have great personalities, and you're able to make these brands for yourself off the court, you included. But, you know, Sophie Cunningham is a prime example. Like, she got it going on off the court. And like I said, I grew up with her, and she always was the same way she is now. She was back then.
Yeah, she's very authentic. She's very authentic.
Yeah, I think that's
why
her.
People like her.
I think that's her thing, and I think, honestly, that might be a Midwest thing, because I feel like, you know. But nah,
y'all be popping it. That's what y'all be doing. Y'all don't got nothing else to do, so y'all just be popping it on.
Ain't got nothing else to do out there, you know what I'm saying? So authenticity is definitely one of her gifts. But, like, what have you thought about kind of her? I don't even know, how did she become, was it like a thing?
She was on the Fever. And then, so, like, everybody's eyes were on.
And then Caitlyn got it, and then she got into it.
It was like, like, it was like, I'm telling you, like, so many things that have happened in women's sports has just been, like, just so many random weird events that people just kind of took advantage of. Like, she was on the team, like, the Fever, when Caitlyn got drafted, was like one of the hottest teams in the league. So they were on TV. I think last season all of their games were on TV.
That's crazy.
So everybody's watching you, and she's not a bad player. Sophie's very talented. She helped the Phoenix Mercury get to the finals. Like, she's legit. Yeah. But you get on a team like that, your role changes. I mean, she's been in the league, 8-9 years now? Like, she's figured out a way. I think also there needs to be an appreciation for players that can stay in the league for so many years. That's not easy to do. What's the fucking league average for NBA players? Do you know?
I think 4 years. Most guys don't make it 4 years.
I think ours might be 2 or 3.
Yeah, crazy.
So I'm about to be in year 9. I think Sophie's in year 7 or 8. You know, we have a ton of players that are, like, 10 plus in it this year. Like, it's such an achievement, like, being able to go in different environments and different teams and have different teammates and still be able to be impactful on and off the court. So that's something that I can respect about Sophie, is her building her brand, like, so late in her career, quote unquote, but she's like figured it out. Like, I feel like anybody can build their brand and promote themselves whenever they feel like it.
Yeah, I wonder if the retired NBA players, I wonder how salty they are that, like, now y'all are making real money and getting treated well. Because I know, like, even me.
In the CBA, we got the retired players paid.
Okay, that's good. Because, like, I know, like.
We looked out for that exact reason, because if I was a retired player right now, I would be sick.
Hot.
That's how we feel about NIL.
That's what I was about to say. I'm saying, like, even though I'm making good money now, I'm like, yo, if I was making $2 million.
How much money do you think you would have made
I would have gotten paid the most ever in college basketball if I got an NIL deal, I think. From, I went to Mizzou, hometown, great boosters. It's where I'm from. They gave my dad the assistant coaching job. I think my dad was the highest paid assistant coaching job. There, huh? I didn't get no bread. Everybody's like, Mike got paid to go to college.
Kind of, your dad.
No, my dad was a legit coach, and they knew if they gave my dad the job that they were going to get me and my little brother Jonte. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play, but they knew what they was getting in us, so they gave my dad the big contract. But I'm thinking, like, yo, getting paid some M's in college for a year,
crazy.
That's more lit than getting paid $100 million in the NBA with all these other guys that are getting paid $100 million. Because in college, getting paid millions of dollars, think about how much different you get to live.
Like, you're a child.
Which, like, you're a child, and I think that it almost would have been damaging. Well, it probably still is damaging for a lot of players when you're 17 years old, getting paid millions of dollars, and you get to drive these cars, pull up with this jewelry on, pull up with this outfit, that outfit, and the rest of your team is not able to do that. Like, for me, I feel like the essence of college basketball and that camaraderie within a team is taken away when this player right here is getting paid M's and this player over here is not getting really paid. Like, that's professional sports at that point. For sure.
And that's like and for me, I'm always going to promote, the girls to stay in school and get their degree, whatever, make your money. There's always been some pushback of like lowering the draft age and all that stuff, which I'm like, if we lower the draft age, cool. Like, that doesn't mean you have to enter the draft, but if it's the option, cool. But I'm always like, go get your degree. Like, at the end of the day, we're women. Our careers are shorter. We're still not making that much money. Like, once the ball stops bouncing, like, you need something to fall back on if that's the case. But some of these, like, conversations that I hear about with players when the season ends and I want this money, I want that money, and they're averaging like 2 points a game, but they're like, well, this coach said they give me this much money.
Yeah.
But there's no, like you said, they're pro athletes, but they're still treated like amateurs. So it's like this gray area that they're in. You can't cut them. You can't waive them. You can't, like...
If they get tired of this team...
I guess some coaches now are fining their players, like how Dion fines his football team for being late to stuff. But again, like, they're so young, they really don't even know, like, the value of $1 for real.
It is it's hard because, like, college athletes do deserve to get paid. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, but now it's not really college anymore. So it's hard. Like, if you get fed up with this coach or you have a losing team, you can just go over here and get leave. It's like it's just weird. It's weird times we live in, for sure. What's that girl, what's her name, Audrey Cooks?
Audie? Yeah, leaving from Iowa State.
She's leaving, right? She's about to go get a bag somewhere.
The whole team left. Their whole team left, and Tennessee's entire team left.
That's nuts.
I've never seen that in my life without a coaching change. Now, we've seen that when, like, a coach gets fired or takes a new job, then the players leave with them, or they're like, okay, well, this isn't the coach that recruited me, so I want to go somewhere else. The coach stayed. They all left. Like, there was a point in time where Tennessee had 0 players on their roster. That's outrageous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you just go get another check, which, again, like you said, they deserve it. Cool. But at some point, like, they have to reel it in. But I think it's too far gone. I don't know if they're going to be able to reel it in. I think it's just going to be a shit show forever.
I agree. A couple controversial topics. I want to know y'all's women's stance on a trans person participating in women's sports. If it was young enough, would y'all be down if someone transitioned young enough? Can they come play in the WNBA? What do you think about that?
My response is very aligned with our Athletes Unlimited we have an inclusive policy. I don't know it verbatim, but it's available. It's there. We had a trans, what did he run? He was a Olympic track athlete. He
transitioned to a woman?
Transitioned to a man.
Okay.
Competes for men's USA track, I want to say, track and field. I'm not sure, and I apologize if I didn't remember that correctly. Came in, and we had like a whole seminar with him. Educated us on all types of stuff. And just the benefits of being inclusive. Me personally, I stay away from this topic for sure, but the way Athletes Unlimited aligns and stands on that topic, you know, we had a vote on it and okay it, and I think it's good. You know, it's not something that we personally have had to really deal with.
I just think it could be a thing in the future, and I feel like if it's not a clear-cut thing, if it should be allowed or not be allowed, like, then that's one of those things where I feel like in the world today, like, it's too just up in the air. People can do this, do that.
I feel like
when it comes to sports, to keep the integrity of the game, like, you got to have some rules. I just feel like it wouldn't, like, that's why I was just curious, because from my perspective, I would be like, that wouldn't be fair. Like, I know that there was a man that transitioned to a woman and then fought.
The boxing.
And he almost hurt this person. Like, it's not fair. Like, and I just wondered if y'all had any like thoughts, because I just feel like that, maybe not right now, but in the future that could be a thing.
I mean, I'm a big person of like, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But my issue with this topic, specifically in sports, is I feel like people use these examples in sports to weaponize and talk about like their beliefs and opinions, which can come off as very transphobic, and I don't support that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of trans men and women in this world that are dealing with a lot of shit. And a lot of them, I would say a large majority of them, sports is like the last thing that they're concerned about. And the fact that people use sports as a vehicle to alienate and discriminate against trans people, I don't think is okay. And I think that's my stance on all of that. Because, again, we haven't had to really deal with that.
Yeah, it's a nuanced conversation, and it is something that, you know, when it comes up, it'll be a bigger conversation. I just feel like, you know, that's something that is very plausible.
Yeah.
That, you know, someone could want to participate in sports, and it's like, should it be allowed, should it not?
Yeah. I mean, I had a teammate in L.A. Her name is Leja. She's actually, I think she's one of our broadcasters now in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken, Leja Clarendon. And she's a huge advocate for the trans community, and I learned so much from her.
I would love to have her on, or someone like.
She actually would be an amazing person to bring on, and she could definitely educate you and others and have her opinions, because it's like she lives that life.
Right.
And she's very passionate about it. She's the one who brought the track athlete to us in Athletes Unlimited. And she's like just so inspiring. And she had an amazing career in the W. I was blessed to be her teammate. And I think she would be like a perfect person for you to have.
I've wanted to have someone like on a show like that, someone that I can just learn like from their point of view, not only just like you said, the things that they deal with in life, but also like how to navigate these conversations, or just the whole thing. I would love to become more aware of that whole space.
She would be a great person, and she's an amazing human being. Like
one of the best. Now hit her up. Tell her I would love to have her on. You also need to get the WNBA off my ass too. Tell them
stop talking shit, Michael. The end. I got you though.
What is it like? Because I remember hearing this from my sisters when they played at Mizzou. I think there was a couple of the women on the team that were dating each other, and I think there was like, I don't know if there was a policy in place from the staff or not, but then like I think the girls broke up, and then there was an issue on the team, and then they lost some games. I was curious in the WNBA, that has to be a big thing, and I wondered like how teams navigate that and how players feel when, and like what is that whole situation like?
I mean, it's a very interesting dynamic. I've been on multiple teams with players in relationships, And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. I think it's less about the relationship and more about the people in the relationship. So there's like no like blanket statement to like talk about like what that's like, because I had teammates in Chicago who were married and they were amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And like, there's no policy where like teammates can't date.
No.
Got you.
But like they were incredible. And it was funny, like they're both white women, blonde hair, and sometimes people would think like they were related or cousins or siblings, but they were married. But they had amazing chemistry on the court, off the court obviously. So you have like situations like that where it's like it's not really a big deal.
But then it could just
then you can have other situations where it's not so good. And I've personally have not been around anything like that, so I'm not going to speak on it, but it happens and it's hard. That's like any relationships in the workplace.
Yeah,
it could get messy.
Well, I mean, some workplaces have policies against it. That's why I was curious, because
no, there's no policy, and I think it's like it's too far gone now. Like they won't even, if they were to put a policy in place now, it would be like y'all like 25, 30 years too late on this.
Imagine, yeah, true, but imagine like y'all continue to get paid more, and now it's a huge like thing where y'all are getting the WNBA is making so much money, players are making so much money, the owners, and then like y'all are in the playoffs, and it's like there's real stakes at play money wise, and then
some
the
bullshit
girls
pop off.
Yeah, and the girls break up, and then it's like causes a huge distraction to the team, and y'all lose in the finals because the group's not connected. Like,
honestly, until it like actually happens, like
so you're a person that's just like,
it
when
ain't
something
got
happens,
shit to do with me.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm like, okay, even when it comes to the sports betting thing, I'm like, if these people in my DMs are threatening, in our DMs are threatening us, when they lose their money betting on us or da-da-da-da-da, and then one day someone is going to catch one of us in person. It's already happened a few times. And it's going to be a real altercation between a person that bet on us.
I had someone approach me at the gas station that I blocked.
Really?
Yeah.
So stuff like that. And then eventually, I believe that, like, someone could get hurt, either the athlete or the athlete's hurt. And then, like, when a real thing, like, okay, what's the conversation then? So I like to think about those things now. Like, how do you protect the players from that happening? Should they be able to bet on, like, player props where they bet on our individual over under, and then they lose all their money or they lose their crib because they bet on us? Now they're actually mad, looking for this person.
And I think that goes back to like your question about like how are we gonna move? Like again, like no matter how much money we make, we're still women at the end of the day. So there is gonna have to be another layer of, head on a swivel. There's gonna have to be another added layer of security, because now we're like elevated to this new status. And even if it doesn't have anything to do with like betting, like the amount of people that were mad at like our salaries going up was crazy. I'm like, y'all, how is this upsetting y'all? Like, is this money coming out of your pocket? Like, why are people upset that we're getting paid more? So it goes back to like what your statement of like, oh, how y'all gonna start moving now? Like, I'm gonna be moving like I might go out like less. Like I don't.
Just bring that strap with you. I'm moving security. Y'all got bread now. Y'all can pay for security.
No, like if we go out like as a group, for sure, we have to move like that now.
Yeah.
And it sucks because that's just the world we live in. But like y'all been dealing with this for forever.
Yeah, I don't move around with no security ever. I'm a lone wolf. I got my guys with me, my friends, and I'm cool.
Okay, so you said someone impressed you. Like, what was that?
No one. People just be pressing me. I've never ran into a person in person that really pressed me. I've just seen the clips. Somebody ran into DeJounte Murray. I think somebody said something to Jimmy Butler, and it's like, they had altercations. And then I'm saying one day, like, something could actually go down. Like, I remember the Ravens. I think the Ravens lost because I think the tight end didn't catch the ball. I think Lamar Jackson threw it to him. He fumbled the ball or whatever, and they lost the Super Bowl or something because of that. And I go to dude's Instagram because I'm like, yo, like I know how people about to be on social media. So I go to his Instagram and I'm looking at the comments, and it's real death threats.
Nosy as hell.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Like I be wondering, I be peeping how people are. So like I went to his comments. I'm like, yo, it's real death threats. So like if there's real death threats because a dude, didn't catch the football. Eventually something's really going to happen where they catch one of these athletes out in public and people are actually,
and it's scary.
And then I'm just curious for when like that happens. But I guess maybe I should lean more to what you're on and be like, until something actually happens, then why
also
even?
Like the internet is like not a real place. Like, the amount of negativity that I see online versus how amazing and positive shit be going on in my real life. Like, I'm like, it's not real. Like, what people say on there, they can have their opinions or whatever. But at the end of the day, when you put that phone down and log off and you go live your life, like, there's, like, amazing people out in this world. Like, I'm a firm believer that there's way more good people than not. Yeah. And maybe that's naive of me, but that's, like, how I was raised, and that's how I like to walk around. And, like, having positive interactions with strangers literally, like, makes my day and my week. Like, I go above and beyond to make sure I have as many positive interactions with people as possible.
I like that.
And then I kind of just try to exude that energy, and hopefully, like, all that weird shit stays away from me in real life, you know?
Right. I'm curious, last question about, you know, y'all's increase in salary and everything like that. I remember this was a conversation we had on the Pivot. I think I had it with them. But I think the NBA subsidizes or you know, the WNBA operates at a loss. And I don't know exactly how it works, but, like, there's not another company in existence where one company is, you know, paying another company, you know. How is that now with the new CBA deal? And what do you think, like, why do you think that the NBA should do that for the WNBA? I'm curious from y'all's perspective.
It's a very complicated structure that even the W in our meetings were very hesitant to break down to us. And I think that's also where a lot of our frustration came from, because we were at the point where, like, okay, we want to understand how this works. Yeah. Because if you can't give us this money, show us why. At least show it. Yeah. And they wouldn't. Like, we're not allowed to audit their expenses or anything like that. So when they tell us, oh, we can't afford this, okay, show us why can't you afford it? So we can meet in the middle. And they wouldn't do it. So it's a very complex structure. The WNBA was David Stern's, like, brainchild. Like, he wanted this to exist. So he let the NBA teams, you know, have their W teams. But now there's, like, a real return on investment. We have a lot of outs. Like, the Seattle Storm, we're not subsidized by an NBA team. We have an ownership group. That's all women. And, like, I think that's dope.
No, it's dope. Even if, you know, because I remember the conversation being, like, all the players were like, man, WNBA players need to earn more, deserve more. And yes, that was true. But at the same time, we're operating at a loss. But from my perspective, like, even if that was true, I think that the WNBA and the NBA, like, I'm glad that it is now being, like, it's viewed as a family. And, like, the NBA makes so much money.
So much.
And, like, we appreciate and we support women's sports. We can like, that shouldn't.
Yeah,
that
come up off the little checks.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right?
we don't. And now dudes is making so much
but
money.
But it's funny, like, and I'm glad you said that.
No, but it's embarrassing. Like, it is embarrassing a little bit. Because, like I said, I have sisters. You know, my mom, when it came down to being the best basketball player in the family, I think it was my mom. Like, she averaged 50 in high school. She went to Iowa Hawkeyes and had a 75-point game. Like, so I've always appreciated. She's the one that taught me how to. Well, it was my dad, but my mom taught me a lot as well. And it's embarrassing for, like, a player, like, for us to make a $40 million a year and to look over there and y'all are making $60,000, $70,000 a year. Like, that's trifling.
It's crazy.
And I feel like, come on, bro.
And again, like, the conversation has never been, we want to make as much as y'all.
Right.
We want the same size of pie slice that y'all get from your pie. So y'all's pie is ginormous, but y'all get half of the pie.
Right.
We have a smaller pie and a smaller slice.
And get smaller slice. That makes sense.
So that's all we were asking for. But I think, like, I'm glad you said it. Like, it should be a family. Like, I think that's amazing. And the people that are like, oh, the NBA, like, holds y'all up and helps. Okay, cool. Like, those are our brothers. What the fuck? Like, it should. Like, that's how it was made. That's how the league was started. But the ownership structure of the league is very complex. It's complicated. We have, you know, NBA. We have outside investors. We had that $50 or $60 million investment that we got a few years ago. But for people saying, like, oh, the league doesn't make money, in our last CBA, we had something in the CBA that if we reached a certain revenue goal, it would activate the rev share. And for the first time ever, we hit the goal. But the league held on to that information for 3 months. They didn't tell us in the middle of negotiations.
That's illegal, ain't it?
Last day. No, they had like 120 days to tell us. And they waited till day 120 to let us know that we made enough money to activate a revenue share. So when people are like, y'all don't make money, like now we got proof.
Yeah.
And we got to split, what, $8-9 million between the whole league equally. So like that was like a check that none of us were expecting. So we got that.
Yeah, it's definitely moving in
we
a good
got
direction.
that 2 weeks ago. So that was a nice little surprise.
Yeah, I'm moving in the right direction for sure. What do you think about completely switching subjects, but what do you think about the stuff that came out about Jaden Ivey? I'm curious to hear your opinion on that.
I haven't really been following it closely, but I've seen it. But that shit looked like it came out of left field. Like do you know him personally? Because I don't.
Nah,
so I don't like speaking on people's situations that I don't know
just saw the videos
about.
And I saw the two, like just people's different reactions, and I was very curious. Like I just didn't know if you had any opinions on that.
I think everybody has, like you said, their own opinions and beliefs. But I don't think you shouldn't use those beliefs as a vehicle to spread hate and
and that's kind of what you felt like he was doing.
I just felt like he was just using it as a vehicle for something that it's not meant to be a vehicle for.
Yeah, and I think that like people are a lot of the majority of people that I see online are talking about he was using his free speech. Yes, but when you're an employee of a certain organization, I think that like they also get to have their opinions and standards, and then if a player, if we don't,
size of the sword,
if we don't, and I didn't really realize that until at the end, like last summer.
Do you be getting in trouble?
That's what I was gonna say. Last summer, after I was on my little podcast run, like.
Your podcast run. You were generational, by the way.
Man, I don't even know how that happened because I'm really just going on thinking I'm just chopping it up. I don't know why people was caring so much about my opinion.
It was very random.
I guess it was. I
started to look like you were doing it on purpose.
I mean, here's what happened. Like I went on one of my homies' podcasts. I'm just OD relaxed, not thinking nothing of it, and I'm just chopping it up. And that's when a lot of the viral clips came out. And then from there, everybody's trying to get me on their podcast, and I'm picking a few to do. And then on top of that, I have my own podcast.
So did no one in your circle be like, Michael?
No.
They did. People are trying to get you on their show so they can.
For sure, to get the clips.
Like,
I was just like, I truly believe that a lost art in this world is being able to share your opinion and share your beliefs, and it differ from someone else's, and that's okay, and people can still respect. So I was on purpose going out there and being almost like a martyr for free speech. Like I was going out there being a martyr, and it did get me in a little trouble. Like not in trouble. I think the Brooklyn Nets in the NBA, they do support players having platforms outside of the NBA and speaking there. So I think the Brooklyn Nets were supportive of me, but they also were like, they pulled me in and were like, yo, like, we understand, we know who you are on a day-to-day basis, but this comment, like, we also have a WNBA team that's very successful and is playing very well, and like to them, this comment may have come off the wrong way or this, and like when you go and speak on these platforms, just make sure you speak with intention. I've always been a curious dude, like thought about different things, different perspectives, and a lot of these opinions, things that I share, they're not always my opinion. Sometimes I do play like devil's advocate just to like see, like, just to get the different sides of a conversation. Yeah. So I think as a podcast host and whatever, like, it's cool, but like you said, I got to be mindful. Okay. I think that I haven't always done the perfect job of it, but like there's ways that you can have respectful conversations. I would never just be a robot. I would never just be like that's not who I am. That's never who I've been. I've never played the game of basketball for money. I've never lived my life for money. I have a lot of money now, and I'm okay with a lot of money, and I'm okay also living very frugal and not really spending a lot of money and going back to Missouri and able to, I could probably, realistically, I'm not going to lie to you, I probably could live right now off of, like I make a lot of money, but I could easily.
What's your contract right now?
I mean, it's a max contract. I think I make like 40 M's this next year, something like that. But I could easily go back to
Okay, so
living
now,
off of a couple $1,000 a month.
How you feel about when OBJ was like, it's impossible to live off $100 million?
Well, that's my point, because some people get so accustomed to a certain lifestyle and it's so their norm now that they can't imagine going back to how they grew up, or like not spending all this money, or not flying private, or not doing this. I feel like I'm one of those dudes who's very okay with living a very luxurious lifestyle, but I'm also okay going back. I could live I'm just cool wherever. I'm cool staying at the Four Seasons. I'm cool staying in a Marriott or a Holiday Inn. Like, I'd be cool with either. Some dudes aren't like that.
Yeah.
Some dudes get so accustomed to a certain lifestyle that they can't imagine going back. I actually have a goal, like, post-career, that I want to live as like a minimalist for a whole year and spend very little money, not live in a big crib, not eat at the bougie restaurants. And maybe it's from an outside perspective, people see me different than I see myself, but I swear it seems like I'm not the only one that's saying like opinions and stuff. Like, I was on Lonzo Ball and Jello and them's podcast, and we had a conversation about something. I think it was something to do with the WNBA, low key.
You know,
and he said the same thing I said, but then my thing goes viral. Why everybody always want to get on me? I don't know why everybody want to get on me. It's crazy.
But it is interesting that, like, when people want a viral clip, there's like a lot of topics that athletes, but like for some reason it's like WNBA. Like that's always gonna get some type of crazy.
I don't know
engagement.
why though. I don't know.
Ever.
It's because they know
like,
y'all.
We're
y'all
not
are
the only women's sports league that exists.
It's because y'all are dumb sensitive.
No, we're not.
Y'all are pretty sensitive.
Y'all
so
are
like,
sensitive too.
Nah, not sensitive
y'all
like y'all.
Like
y'all like if y'all
people be coming at us so crazy, literally so unprovoked. Like, can we just hoop, please?
I know.
Because we don't even like walk around like crazy arrogant or anything like that.
Y'all
like,
be
we
chilling.
really.
I can see how it comes across like that. Like, why is
like,
Mike?
Can y'all leave us alone?
You're like, why is Mike on here talking about this? And
like,
this and
how
that?
did this even come up in a conversation? That's where I've always been at with it. Like, just
I think I just be getting asked questions, and I'm just like, well, I'm getting asked, so I'm gonna give my opinion. Like, but people rage bait. People do things for clicks, and I'm aware of it, and so yeah, I probably could. I mean, I am staying clear of certain.
Yeah, you've been doing a good job.
I am staying clear of certain. I'm chilling.
I hope nothing. I mean, I feel like sometimes I get treated like you get treated in like the WNBA community.
For real?
Yeah, especially once I started going on Gills. Like, it was always fucking something.
I wasn't locked into your opinions much on what you were saying, but so you know how it feels. I mean, if the WNBA told you like, yo, you can't.
Well, I will say, like, when I first got into the league, I was on YouTube, I was vlogging, I was doing all that stuff, and like, they didn't straight up. Because the thing I can respect about the conversations that Brooklyn had with you is that they brought you in and let you know, like, okay, like, we see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, here's what we need you to do to be better so we can coexist and you can do your thing and then you can be in this organization. The shit I was dealing with was conversations being like, no one was telling me that it was a problem, but I kept getting like things were happening in my career that had nothing to do with basketball, but no one was having a conversation with me about it.
Yeah.
So it did get to a point where like I stopped vlogging. I shut my whole YouTube shit down because then after I got waived in the off season.
It just wasn't worth it for you like that. Yeah.
Like, I was like, no conversation, no nothing. Like, to this day I still don't know why I got waived from the Minnesota Lynx. Like, I have no idea. Like, the coach didn't call me, the GM, nobody called me. I found out through my agent.
That would be tough.
And I was like, what the hell? So I kind of like, shut it all down because I was like, okay, like I care about basketball too much. YouTube ain't going nowhere. Instagram ain't going nowhere. But this WNBA shit, like, I could never have this opportunity again. Right. So I like shut that shit all down.
And I would agree with you. Like, if it was a young dude who was first getting in the NBA and he was a TikTok guy or he was doing a podcast and he was speaking his opinions and he didn't make his mark in the league yet, like, they will waive you quick because you haven't made a mark. You're disposable. You're disposable. But like, I think if you're a certain like level of a player, like if you're a Jaylen Brown, like he could go on a stream and say probably whatever. He's not going nowhere. It's Jaylen Brown. Like, he's one of the best players in the NBA. I think like it's tough in Jaden Ivey's situation because if it was probably before he had his surgery, he was still in Detroit balling. one of their franchise guys, and he said the same exact thing, they probably would have called him in, been like, yo, Jaden, like, da-da-da-da-da, sensitive subject, whatever, and he would have kept hooping. But, like, if you're not one of the main guys on a team, they'll get rid of you.
And you learn that quickly in the pros.
And so, you're very disposable.
Everybody was like, you'd be like, look at my body of work. Look what I did in college. Look what I won here. Look at my accolades. But you look around, everybody was that person at some point in their career. So you get into the league, and it's a whole different environment. And it is unfortunate that, like, if you're not, one of the chosen ones, you got to fall in line for a little bit. And that sucks. But that's something else with the CBA. With the protection of these rookies, like, we see the brands that they're building in college. We see the personalities that they have in college. And so many of us in the majority of the league have seen so many personalities and amazing players get stomped out because they didn't fit the mold, right? So none of these new rookies are fitting whatever stupid ass mold existed 10 years ago in the W. And we wanted to protect them from that. So now you're getting all this money, up front. So teams have to be intentional with choosing you for your team. Are they going to, prioritize you? Are they going to protect you? Are they going to help you learn and become a pro? And we didn't have those protections in place for young players, and now we do. And I think that's also just going to help the WNBA go to another level, because they're going to be able to tap into these people's personalities and their platforms and their fan bases. And that was something that was, like, really important to us.
Yeah, no, y'all are definitely lit, and I'm excited to see it keep growing. I'm excited to pull up to a couple games this next year. I'm excited. I'm gonna come check you out. Hopefully they're rocking with you. But no, I feel like I haven't recorded any podcasts this whole season. First one with you. I'm glad we ran into each other the other night, and I'm glad that I can apologize for maybe the way I've come off at times, and I'm glad you're receptive. I'm glad that we learned a lot about kind of what y'all got going on over there. And this has been dope. I appreciate you hopping on. It's been real cool.
Thanks for the invite. I thought you was playing when you invited me.
Nah, we in here.
Bullshitting.
Nah, we in here.
But we made it happen, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, man. Curious Mike out.